Hello, America, and to our friends around the world, greetings, welcome back. This one is something that, as a child growing up, always kind of perplexed me and fascinated me, and that is the Star Trek Stardate calendar system. How did it come to be? For what reason did it come to be?
Enterprise Starlog, Captain Jonathan Archer, April 16th, 2151.
Captain's log. Stardate 1312.4.
As evidence with the two video clips, one is our current calendar system, where they use 2151, which is 126 years from now, roughly, and the other one is the Stardate system. How did this come to be? What is it that caused a change in calendar systems? One would think that meeting an alien species would be the catalyst for changing your calendar system, but that wasn't the case. This is after meeting, and they're still using our current calendar system. So, how do calendar systems come about? Well, there's three big ways of measuring time. There's using the sun, the solar sundial, solar time. How many days does it take to go around the sun? The other one is lunar cycle. Anybody who's watched westerns is aware of the many moons, throwaway line to mean, a long time ago. But it's not just Native Americans that used the lunar cycles as a timekeeping device. A lot of religions base their calendar on lunar. The other one is sidereal, spelled sidereal, but it deals with the celestial positions, the stars' positions in reference to the Earth. Those are the three big means of measuring. And of course, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So through the so through the hourglass, so go the days of our lives, or the sands of the hourglass quote. With making fun of the soap opera when they meet Socrates. You use a sundial. There was an episode of James Burke's Connections that talked about the importance of timekeeping, and a monk who devoted to their prayer time, the monastery, needed to know in Northern Europe where it's overcast and dark, needed to know when it was prayer time, so they developed a very complicated, complex timekeeping device so they would know, rain or shine, when it was time to pray. But that doesn't answer the question. What is it that caused Stardates to be implemented? Perhaps the knee-jerk, or armchair quarterback would be, hey, it's because all of these calendar systems are Earth-centric. I would go with that. But it's more than that. One other that I want to throw out there is the French Revolution. They did the metric system. They brought in the metric system. And one of the concepts that they wanted to do to keep the calendar balanced was have 10 days, because a metric year didn't balance out. So they wanted 10 days allotted to celebrate the French Revolution. And apparently they wanted 10-hour days and a 10-day week. And that would have kind of translated to the Stardate thing, because they used the 1234.5 decimal measuring. So going back to it, where did it come from? How does it work? Why does it work? What does it reference? I alluded to it a little bit, and that is religious institutions implement calendars. Even our current calendar is based on what's called AD, the Anno Domini, signifying after death, the New Age. But it's deeper than just the Jesus crucifixion that they're referencing, because even the calendar system up until recently used BC, before Christ, and now they've begun using BCE, before the Common Era. And they use the excuse of, but we don't know when he really actually lived and died. I don't want to get into the whether he actually existed argument, but because it doesn't matter. It's what our calendar is 2,000 plus years been based upon. That in mind, we know that the Romans didn't say in 95 BC, or the Greeks in 300 BC. They didn't measure it that way. The 2025 year comes from what's called the age of Pisces. And this is what's referred to as astro-theology. Every 2,150 years, a new age, approximately 2150, a new age is introduced. But going back to it, Archer uses 2151 or 2153 or something like that, for his log entry, right? And it's 2025, so therefore that's more than 2150. It goes deeper than that. The first church that was excavated, I believe, or the oldest church that's been excavated and discovered was Anatolia or Jordan, and it has as a fresco the symbol of Pisces, and it dates back to approximately 300 AD. Also, Constantine didn't implement Christianity as the state religion until approximately 325 AD. So those two dates, for the most part, line up. So that would put the use of a calendar system into approximately the 23rd century. Now, to help reinforce this, the reason behind this speculation, you go back to the story of the Jewish people leaving Egypt and being lost in the wilderness, and Moses going up Mount Sinai. Comes down and he finds them dancing around a golden calf. What is that significance of? It's the significance isn't, everybody thinks it's idol worship. Oh, they took their gold and they melted it down and shaped it into an idol of a calf, of a cow. It's deeper than that. The gold signifies the sun. The calf represents the age of Taurus, which precedes by 2 ages the age of Pisces. That is the significance. There is the age of Taurus, which was followed by the age of Aries, which was followed by the age of Pisces. We're coming upon what's called the age of Aquarius. Most everybody is familiar with the song Dawning of the Age of Aquarius. If you're not familiar, just type it into a search engine, and I have no doubt there will be a link to either a video or an audio or both of it. But we're not in the age of Aquarius. We're approaching it, and it won't be until at the earliest 2150, the middle of the 22nd century. And it is my opinion that the Stardates correspond with two things. One, as they've said in Star Trek lore, the founding of their interplanetary government, as well as the beginning of the age of Aquarius. So whether or not it's being referenced, it is still Earth-centric. That's my opinion. You can disagree with me if you want, and let me know in the comments your opinions, but essentially that's what I suspect it is it's both to reinforce this new alliance so that all these other planetary governments can start a new calendar system as a group, and it corresponds with the beginning of the age of Aquarius. And when that date is exactly, I don't know, but it would probably be in the late 22nd to 23rd century.